Oh, yeah. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Outside Looking In. My name is Bruce Negger, and we're talking about the issues that emanate from Montgomery County and beyond. How are you doing? I'm doing a lot better. A lot better. Got myself a Diet Coke. What? Why? Well, I took last week off, if you might know. Anybody who's a regular listener. I took last week off because I couldn't do the damn program. I was messed up. That's right, I went in for that surgery, for the hip surgery. I got my hip reimagined. All I got is like one of those scars now. Big scar down the thigh. Ugh. Looks like a cadavered scar. I'm telling you, I got to get in shape. It's nasty. They took one piece of fat, put the other piece of fat together, and sewed it up. But anyway, I had the surgery. Went in there last Monday, 2 Mondays ago, so we're going in week 2 here. And things seem to have gone well. It was interesting because they sit you down at 6 a.m, you're sitting there, get undressed, do all of this kind of stuff. You're sitting in the bed just waiting for the surgeon to come and the anesthesiologist, everybody to come. Got to sign all these forms. And, you know, no one got my joke. I said, so, yeah, how's the liposuction going to take? And they're like, oh, nobody laughed. I was like, okay, 6 o'clock on a Monday. No one wants to be here. I get it. The only thing that I did appreciate is they asked me like 17 times what side I'm supposed to have surgery on. I'm glad I wasn't loopy then, but I was like the left side, the left hip, the left hip. They even make you write it on your hip to tell you where the surgery is going to be. And the nurse was extremely impressed because I can write upside down and backwards. Yes. Former life as a weatherman, I'm all ready for it. You know, before in those old days when they used to have to write on the board, Lloyd Lindsay Lung, hello, Independent Network News on Channel 9. But anyway, I got the surgery, I get out, and boy, I don't think I've ever been as doped up as they doped me up. I've been called a dope before, but this time it was true. I get out, and they're like, okay, you're going to have to walk to the car, you'll walk out and stuff. I tried to stand up. I had so much stuff in me, my leg was buckling. I couldn't even get my leg straight. You know, like, so they have to put knee braces on me to walk out, and they wheel me out, they get me into the car. I don't remember a damn thing about it, actually. Get into the car, Gina drops me off. I got to walk up the steps. You know, you got a brand new hip, you still got to walk. And it's amazing. I didn't think I could, but I did. I got up there, and Gina's like, do you need help up the steps? I'm like, hell yeah. She's like, let me get in front of you. I said, no. I can always fall frontwards. If I fall backwards, I am screwed. Stand behind me, baby. Just stand behind me. Stand by your man. So she pushes me up the steps, crawl right into bed, and sleep and sleep and sleep. They say one thing to do is to get ahead of the pain. All right, so I had the Oxycodone, I have a Celebrex, I got all of this stuff. So I'm like, okay, I had a couple people talk to me about shoulder surgery, and some other things. Get ahead of the pain. Pop the pills, sleeping. You know, 2 times a day, Oxycodone. Pop the pills, sleeping. Get up Tuesday, feel all right, do a little bit of work. And then all of a sudden, Tuesday afternoon, I'm like, I can't deal with anything. I couldn't stand upright. I couldn't lay upright. I couldn't get upright. I had a headache like you would not believe. You know, the pain in the leg was nothing. The headache was so severe. And then I was like sitting outside. I'm like, maybe it's just fresh air. I've been laying down too long. You know, sometimes you got a pillow underneath your head. You're not feeling right. Just isn't, it's not comfortable. Anyway, I get out of that, sitting outside on the porch. It's a nice day, sitting in the sun. And I can't even see straight. And I'm grabbing my face. I'm like agitated and all of this kind of stuff. Said, okay, I'm going to lay down. Tuesday's done. Tuesday's gone with the wind. Done. Get up Wednesday. Nauseous, got a headache, got all of this stuff going on. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? It was funny. So I'm like, okay, I had a bit of a fever. I was clammy, all of this kind of stuff. Nothing to really worry about, but you know, you get out of surgery, you worry about a little bit of something. Gina calls the doctor. It's like too early to have a infection from the surgery, so it just might be his body fighting something off, etc., so forth and whatever. All of a sudden, I get up again. I cannot see. I can't read. I put on my glasses to read the New York Post, the Washington Post. It hurts right in one eye. It hurts so bad. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm grabbing myself again. I'm like shaky kind of stuff. And this isn't for everybody, but I said, this has to be the oxycodone. It has to be the oxycodone. So I start looking up the side effects, weak pulse, cold, clammy skin, lightheaded feeling. You might pass out, headache. I'm like, son of a bitch. That's exactly what it is. So I stop it. Still not feeling better till Thursday of the first week of surgery. Still not feeling better. Come Friday, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. But I was up in the middle of the night, with my head down, I could deal with things. So I said, okay, I'm going to find out what's going on. So what do? I do what everybody in the United States does. I do whatever I want to back up my own research and my own opinion. I went to Netflix and watched a show, Painkillers. It's about the oxycodone situation with Purdue Pharma, etc. So what was interesting about it, it was a series, so I finished it. Anyway, I finished it, but I was watching some of this stuff, and the lady who was testifying against Purdue Pharmaceuticals, saying it's an imperfect drug. Oxycodone's an imperfect drug. It's a time-release thing, but it doesn't really last 12 hours. It stops before 12 hours. So you can start feeling the effects. And, I was looking at all these junkies and stuff like that, and forgive me for saying that, the junkies, people who had normal pain getting stuck on something, they didn't search it out. They were fed it. It's so easy. It is unbelievable that it's so easy to get this stuff, and it's so cheap until you really need it. I got a letter from the from the insurance company saying, we know that you've been prescribed oxycodone. We will not be fulfilling this after your second fulfillment. I didn't even go through the first bottle. I saw the guy, he had headaches, he itchy, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, there it is. There it is. So immediately threw all that stuff out. Still not feeling my leg. The pain in my leg is nothing, absolutely nothing compared to the pain in my head based on this headache. I don't know how anybody does it. Now I understand why people are fiending. Again, I don't think I was addicted or anything of that sort, but I know the effect that it had on my body, and I got to be 1 of 100 or 20 of 100 to have that kind of effect, to have that kind of feeling. But it was awful. Absolutely awful. The oxycodone, and people are like, oh, I got through with it. To each his own. I'm with you. But threw that stuff away. I don't wish that on anybody, either or, because I don't understand the high. And then I saw that the painkiller thing, and people started smashing up the pills and snorting it and all that kind of stuff. I didn't, warnings upon warnings not to do that. But it's heroin. It's time-release heroin, they say. That's what they called it. And again, I found my propaganda to back up my thoughts and my position. So I'm no different than anybody in the United States on Twitter or anything of that stuff. I had an opinion about oxycodone, and I found the stuff that says it seems to be the case. The case is right. And it seems to be that this isn't from some underground source. This is from what really happened. So I don't feel that bad finding my own propaganda, my own research to justify how I was feeling or what I did. And even if I didn't, I know that's a narcotic. I'm not doing it. I'm not that much of a tough guy. But I'll tell you, that headache was not worth the oxycodone. The pain in the leg was a lot easier because I've been already dealing with the pain in the leg. What I was feeling is just that everything was swollen, etc., and that it was tight. But I'm getting better now. Getting better all the time. Have to admit it's getting better. But anyway, I'm starting to feel better. I feel good. Was walking around now. I'm out of bed, doing what I got to do. Walking around the block. Got an old man cane program sponsored by Geritol. But anyway, I got the old man cane chasing all the, get off my lawn. It was funny. Somebody's like, you're really young. Now you're with that cane. Where's up with your old man cane? And I just told him, get off my lawn, you Brian Iota. But that was that. It was just a pretty amazing situation. So right now I'm up, I'm walking. They say, it was funny. I was reading the other thing. Somebody said one of the best things you can do is walk through a grocery store holding on to the cart because the cart will be able to extend your stride. It feels pretty good. Have good days, bad days. Not really the bad days. It just gets sore. So anybody out there looking for hip surgery or hip replacement, hip reimagination, you know what? They say that's the easiest one. They say shoulder is terrible. They say knee is number 2. Hip is okay because they're going through the front now. I have an anterior instead of posterior, anterior hip surgery. So where they put me on some table, I read about it, man. It was like medieval. It's like a Quentin Tarantino film. It was medieval. So you come out, they stretch all your muscles out, and they get in there. They pull it from the pelvis, get in there and redo things. So that's where the tightness comes from. But it's a little bit ugly. I'm the only one to see my scar. No one else in my family wants to see it. I want to show them. I'm like, come here, let me show you my scar. Nah, Dad, get away from me. What's your problem? But everybody was really kind and really nice, and I appreciate it. People who checked in, I want to thank you very much for that. It makes a difference, when you're laid up a little bit. I got nothing to say, but I do appreciate your kind thoughts, and checking in. That's really what's going on. So right now, 12 days, 10 days out of or maybe 12 days for the surgery. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm up. I'm not ready to do anything. I start rehab next week. I could drive if I wanted to. I can walk, can't run, can shower, do all this stuff, pull myself up and all that. Putting on the sock is still a bit of a problem. I can't get my knee up that high. But, I got people for that now. That's the best part of getting married. You got people. So Gina's been a godsend. I want to thank her very much, doing what she has to do. But a lot of ice, a lot of stuff. And I want to say it's not so bad. It is bad. It's major surgery. And once you realize that, that was the thing about expectations. Before I went into the surgery, the PT guy who came over, Carter, came over. He goes, expect a lot of pain. Expect this. Expect that. He set expectations. So, you know what? Expect the worst. Hope for the best. Terrible way to live life, but sometimes it works. Because when it's better than terrible, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. And that's the way it worked out for me. It wasn't so bad. But, it leads to a pretty boring podcast because I got nothing to say. I mean, I really wanted to go on last Friday, but I couldn't do it. And that's what scared me. I couldn't do simple things. I could have mumbled through the whole podcast. It wasn't even about mumbling. I was just in no condition. All I wanted to do was just lay down. I mean, where's the fun in that? It's like getting high. If you're going to get high or have narcotics in your body, where's the fun in just wanting to lay down? I didn't even have good dreams. I've had better dreams on NyQuil. It's just irritable, terrible, horrible. That's what it was, and that's what it is. If you want to find out more, let me know. I'll gladly talk to you about it, but in terms of finally someone's talking about it, because all of these people I know, it's like, when you get in doctor, you just buy a new car. You buy a Nissan Altima. We bought a Nissan Altima about 10 years ago. And because of that, because we were looking at the Altimas, we saw an Altima everywhere on every road, everywhere. It was prevalent everywhere. So now it's like once I was going to get hip surgery, I figured out, so I found out Shaquille O'Neal had it, Alec Baldwin had it, Adam Sandler, all these people with hip surgery, people I'm playing hockey with had it, double. So it's like, oh my God, you become indoctrinated into a community there. But no one's ever said anything about it. No one ever said about the pain, about this, about that. I mean, it's to each his own, no doubt. But my situation was more with the drug side effects than with the surgery itself. And let's hope that's the case, You hear that? That's superstitious Bruce still knocking wood. We'd go Tuesday for some PT, go to see the doctor, go for out-of-home physical therapy. Time to get strong. Gonna fly now. Trying hard now. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Ding 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 ding. Welcome everybody. Rocky Balboa versus Apollo Creed. It still gets me hyped up. I'm not gonna lie to you. So what's going on in the world? Let me tell you. I get out of a sick bed, out of a hip hospital bed, and I'm still dressed better than half the people in Congress. What? Congressional dress code. Zoinks, zip, poof. It's funny. Chuck Schumer relaxed the congressional dress code where you don't need to wear a suit or a tie and a jacket on the Senate floor. But just for senators, not for the staff, not for visitors, not for anybody else, just for senators. And why? Because you got to back John Fetterman. This dope can't even put on pants. Can't even put on pants. And I'm sorry, I know that he's had a stroke. I know that he's rehabbing and all this kind of stuff. But you know what? You're in the frickin' Senate. If you're good enough to do a Senate job, do the job. You know, there are more important issues, and that's what everybody, that's like what the Washington Post today came out to say. Oh, it's such a tragedy, you know, it's real tongue-in-cheek nonsense. Real tongue-in-cheek nonsense about, oh, it's such a tragedy. Yes, Congress is all going to fall apart. Civilization is done because the dress code in Congress has been, repealed. That's where it starts. Does not anybody understand that? That's where it starts. When you make things easy for everybody, that's where it starts. Then what's next? You know, not wearing a shirt. And I know that's like, oh, that's hyperbole. That's just taking it over the top. But are you kidding me? There are more important issues, and I understand that. Ukraine, the border, all of this kind of stuff. They're more important issues. But okay, tell that to the New York City Council. I'm reading the newspaper today, and the New York City Council is now on a statue hunt again, trying to take down statues of Columbus. You know what? Legislation and all of this kind of stuff, we have important stuff in front of us, and we're going to worry about statues. And Congress, I mean, seriously, you can't put on a jacket, a tie? Just put one in your frickin' closet, man. Who hasn't had that, right? I have a boss. He used to have his suit. He used to leave a suit, come very casual to work, but he would leave a suit in his closet in his office, and when he went to meetings, he wore that suit out. It used to stink after a while, and we had to tell him that, but he wore that suit out because he knew. He knew there's a level of professionalism. This is what you do. Let's say pro sports, right? What's going on in sports? The professionalism, it starts. It's like once you lower the standards, we're done. We're done. I'm watching Georgia play football against South Carolina. You know, and they used to call the NFL the No Fun League. I just call it the penalty league from now on. I was watching, seriously, I got Red Zone the other day. Let's go to the quad box, says Scott Hansen. Quad box had 4 penalties at the same time. That was what's going on in the NFL. 4 penalties at the same time. Unwatchable, even on the Red Zone. But anyway, I'm watching the Georgia football, the Georgia Bulldogs. And guys have cut their pants up to their thighs. They're wearing shorts with no socks and cleats. Wearing shorts to play football. That's not uniform. That's not a team. You know, the NFL used to enforce these kinds of things, but, you know, in college football, they don't. They used to be able to cut their shirts when I was a kid, the midriff kind of stuff. I get it. I understand. I want to be different. But you're not different if everybody's doing the same thing. How are you wearing shorts? It's not practice. This is a game. You're representing the University of Georgia. Stop looking like a putz. A putz. It's, you know, everyone's like, oh, it's just a little thing. But the little things hold up. It's like Jenga, damn it. Right? Jenga. What do you mean, Jenga? You pull out the little pieces till the stability is gone and the thing falls. And that's what happens. People have to be held to a standard sometimes. In certain situations, certain areas, you have to be held to a standard. The easy way out, the easy way out, the easy way out. Fetterman, get a belt. Gym shorts. You know, I mean, seriously, that you can't, you got elected. The people of Pennsylvania, the people of Pennsylvania don't care. Oh, maybe some of them do. Why don't you go ask them? Why don't you take a poll and find out? Instead of being your own personal Jesus here. And this is the thing that I don't understand. Why is John Fetterman the hero of the Democratic Party? Can you believe that they saved this guy's seat? The guy had a stroke. The guy is incapacitated. And again, you know how I feel about this. I think people who have had strokes, that got to work it back. You get back and you give them the opportunities again. But no, he had a stroke, but we're going to back him anyway. He can't read. He couldn't read. I had a freaking headache. I couldn't read. I couldn't do my job. I couldn't look at my computer screen. I couldn't read the newspaper because of some Oxycodone headache or whatever. And this guy doesn't have the capacity. You know, everything has to be written out, or I don't even know what he had. But why are you backing this guy? Chuck Schumer, right? Oh, we'll relax the dress code. For one vote, this is what it's about? You don't care who fits the suit? Obviously not, because he doesn't even have to wear a suit. He's not even Johnny Bravo. I mean, seriously, Fetterman, that's a false god. I mean, how do you go to the mat for this guy? He doesn't have the intelligence. He's not a charismatic leader. There's no way he'd be president, right? There's nothing that you see in this guy, but you're going to back him to the hilt. And then he's got this Twitter account, which I don't even think he writes, but I'm sure his Pittsburgh people write it. His Braddock people write it. He used a very key word to know that you're from Pennsylvania or from the Pittsburgh, Western Pennsylvania area. He used the word jagoff. He goes, if those jagoffs in the House stop trying to shut our government down and fully support Ukraine, then I will save democracy by wearing a suit. You're a senator. Where's the decorum? Where is it? The maturity, whatever. And he's talking about Lauren Boebert, who's another one, okay? I'm not even going to pretend to protect her. She's just, I mean, how do you know that no one's watching you? There's cameras everywhere in the world, and you're going to vape and then rub somebody and all of this kind of stuff. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But then he's got to say something, and I don't even think he's writing this stuff, as I told you, but they're using the key to make it sound like it's in his language. And he's like, if someone's going to rub someone's junk, I mean, you're a senator. Be above the fray. Be above the fray. You see Fetterman, and it's just like going to an NFL game. Because, let's go to a sports game. No, I'm not going to a sports game. I'm not taking my kids to a sports game anymore. Why? For one, it's freaking expensive. Two, I don't want to get beat up. This is what happens when nobody cares anymore. Everybody starts. I mean, it's like the Coliseums, except the fights are in the stands instead of on the field. At least those guys are competing for something. You're up there because, my team has 6 championships. You got nothing. Oh, let's fight about it. Guy dies in Foxborough. I don't know if he died from the punch, but still, what the hell are you in a fight for? And I'm sorry, kids. Your dad's not that strong. I want to be the best for you. I want to be the idol of your eye. I want to be up on that pedestal for you. But guess what? If I see 2 guys about to attack me, we are walking. We are walking, and we are walking fast. We are running, all right? I'll be honest with you. I don't want to get punched in the face at some sporting event where everybody's got their frickin' phone out. Ooh, look, big fight. And that's the other thing. That is the other thing. Bad behavior. This bad behavior that's all over social media. I talked about it before, but I mean, I'm on Yahoo the other day waiting for something to load, so I'm reading the Yahoo page, and it's like fight at the football game, people tossing babies back and forth in Texas. But it's on Yahoo, so I'm supposed to be compelled, and we have video of it, so take a look. Take a look. Does nobody believe in conditioning? When you see this enough and enough and enough, you're going to be like, oh, that's acceptable behavior. Oh, it's horrid, but let me look at it. Let me pull out my phone. I'm not going to do anything about it, but let me pull out my phone and look at it. It's no different than Clockwork Orange. When the guy was in the chair and they kept his eyes open with toothpicks and just brainwashed him, because that is what's happening. In condemning this behavior on Yahoo, horrible scenes, horrible fight at a football game, but let's watch the video. People tossing a baby around. Horrible. But in condemning this behavior or taking the stance to condemn it for clickbait, we are conditioned to it. We're not condoning it, but we are conditioning ourselves to it. This is the breakdown. Do you not see it? It's the breakdown. Little by little, the Jenga board, the Jenga pieces are coming out. We're strong. And then you start poking. What can I get away with? Oh, the thing might fall. Ooh. And that's what happens. That Jenga thing just came to me right now. I didn't even write this down or think of it, but that's exactly what it is. When you start moving the pieces around and there's no solid foundation anymore, the whole freaking thing is going to tumble. It's going to tumble. Joe Biden, He doesn't even know what he's doing anymore. And I'm sorry. You know, I was trying to protect him before about ageism and all this kind of stuff. Dude, it's time. And because of your wonderfulness, because your all-inclusiveness, you pick someone who's not qualified. You know, it's not a black woman. Kamala Harris is not qualified. You had Condoleezza Rice. Maybe I'm with you. All right. Someone who has some gravitas. That's exactly what I was saying before about with Fetterman. There's no gravitas there. I mean, you were backing a false idol. This is your chance. This is who you're going to champion. This is who you're lifting up. Go ahead. Because it's a mistake. And you're going to pay for the mistakes. You will pay for the mistakes. Two other things I noticed. I was talking to my dad the other day. We're talking about credit cards, etc. He says, I got a credit card offer. You know, you can do a balance transfer. You can do all this kind of stuff. It was at 33%. As Chris Rock used to say, 44%. No, but 33%. There are credit cards out there that have 36% interest rate. I found out that the average interest rate right now is 24.25. 24 and a quarter is the average percentage rate interest rate. And why is this significant, Bruce? Why does this mean anything? Because I don't know. That's pretty much loan sharking, isn't it? And the interesting thing about it is that we are at an all-time high for carrying credit card debt. Everybody, I know it. Had a roof we had to cover. I understand it. I'm covering that debt. Paying it off, playing the games back and forth. Luckily, I have good enough credit, so I get offers where I can go here to there and spend a couple $100 and save myself. And, I have a credit card. It was funny because I'm sitting there playing credit card roulette. And I'm like, what am I paying off? It's the first month. I believe in paying off my credit cards all the time. This time I got caught. Not going to lie to you. I got caught. If you want to GoFundMe, you know what? You know where I'm at. Send money to my PayPal. I'll use it for a good cause. It will not be squandered on tobacco and firewater. That's for sure. I'll put it right to the roof. But anyway, I'm going around. I got a credit card that's 7.99%. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. And then I checked the other one. And that one was 22.5%. Which one am I paying off first? Which one am I not going to carry a balance on? Exactly, 22.5%. That's outrageous. It's outrageous. But that's what's going on. You know, who's protecting who here? Oh, the economy's wonderful. Everything's great. We're spending more. Yeah, because we're putting it on credit. Carrying credit card debt. 33% of your money, 24.5% of your money, 24.25% of your money is going to pay down credit card debt. That's not even the principal. But once again, you're going to tell me that things are good. Do me a favor. Stop telling me things are good or things are okay when I can see that they're not. Stop doing it. That's the theme for 2023 so far, or at least for the second half of this year. Stop telling me what I see is not happening. I mean, boy, it's like I did the podcast, and that's the last one I did, and that's what I called it. But it's so true because you're out there. Oh, there's no price inflation. There's no nothing. Guess what? We bought a box of Malamars. My kids love Malamars. And if you don't eat a Malamar, you are missing out. I don't normally say that. I don't normally spread the gospel that way. But Malamars, Northeastern treat, right? It used to be a regional cookie. Graham cracker, chocolate, and marshmallow. Only out in the fall, because Nabisco would only change over these things for the fall. So it was a Northeast cookie because it would melt. But they started making their way around. So anyway, we buy a box of Malamars the other day. My dad and my son Landon open it up. And they're like, what the? Who the? Where the? I'm like, what's the matter? Malamars are under attack is what's the matter. That's what's the matter. We opened up the damn thing. They are at least 25% smaller. Oh, how do you know? Because but the eye test. Because I'm seeing it. Don't tell me. Because I see it. They changed the packaging. They made it smaller. It used to come in a brown plastic thing. Now it's in a clear cellophane thing that probably fits Oreos too. You know, so they're combining the costs. I get it. Efficiency. Synergy. Efficiency. Blah, 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 blah. But do companies not think we will see that? Malamars are more expensive and you're buying less. And it's all a microcosm. It's all, Malamars are a symbol for what's going on in the world right now. It's like, oh, what are you worried about Malamars, Bruce? There's a dress code. I'm telling you, because it's these simple things that you see that tell you what's going on. They tell you what's going on. And we're all being hoodwinked. We're all taking it on the chin, man. Things are better. Nothing is better. I want it to be better. I'm looking for it to be better. I'd love for it to be better. I don't revel in negativity, even though you think so. And the only reason I say about negativity is because people are trying to, people try to make everything so inclusive and so lovey-dovey that it's ridiculous. Let's face the problems head on and attack them and get them taken care of instead of mushing it all around with soft language. There was a fight at the school up at QO a couple weeks ago. Terrible. I'm not for fights. I don't believe in fights. Supposedly it was a kid with special needs too. Somebody started hitting him, and guess what? Everybody pulled out their phone and watched the damn thing. And so this is the funny part about it. My kids didn't know about the fight, and I'm sure, they're not as involved in high school as they should be, or et cetera, and so forth. But they were probably in a different wing, different area. But somehow, because it made social media, Channel 2 News picked it up, and it's like, problem at QO High School. You got 3,000 kids there. There's going to be a fight. It's unfair fight. I'll tell you that for sure. But you got 3,000 people, and then all of a sudden, because it gets on social media and it gets on the news, everybody's in uproar. Sad. So sad. It's sad to see. It is sad to see, all right? I don't see like anybody getting picked on or punched in the face or anything of that sort. But it's going to happen. Why? Because it gets on social media and everybody thinks it's cool. The cycle. It just, we're chasing our tails. And what does Miss Thomas do? She puts out, oh, we had such a strong, wonderful week, and our community is so strong, and we're all bound together, and we are deeply, deeply saddened by what was. Oh, shut up. Our community, this, that, the other thing. We believe in all inclusiveness. People are going to have a fight. Brothers fight. Is there anything more inclusive or tighter than a family unit? Brothers fight. Man and wife fights. Man and wife. Husband and wife fight. It happens. You can't let it run rampant. You can't let it run out of control, but it happens. And stop with all this flowery language saying how great you are, and then all of a sudden there's a problem. Oh, it's unacceptable. I know it's unacceptable. You know it's unacceptable. But it's going to happen. What are you doing about it? And just instead of telling us it's just unacceptable, it makes me angry. I don't know when I'm going to drink again. I don't know if I'm going to drink again, but maybe I should. Sure as hell ain't taking any Oxycodone for this. Doesn't make me feel better. That even made me feel worse. The program is called Outside Looking In. My name is Bruce Negrin. I hope I was informative. I was hoping I was helping you out. If you're thinking about surgery, seriously, give me a call. I'll talk to you. It's no big deal. I don't normally talk about this kind of stuff, but no, I couldn't find any information about what to expect and how to expect it. So I feel like if I can help you here, I will. If you don't want to know about it, fine with me too. That's pretty much the last I'll talk about it. I'll maybe talk about PT once, but I thought it would be a big deal. It's not a big deal. All I know is that the Oxycodone is bad news for me. Bad news for me. So what's this program about? It's about nepotism. Nepotism. Sometimes I play John Cougar, Mellencamp Going Out, check it out. Sometimes I play Sweet G, games people play. Sometimes I play something. This time, take a listen to the outro, okay? Song called Nothing to Show by a group called What Up Cuz. What Up Cuz is just a pseudonym for my brother Eric Negrin. This is his original music. I like it. Listen to the lyrics. It says a lot. I'll talk to you next week.
It all sounded good to me. See places that I'd never see. Get to go to school free, being all that I could be. I came out of fighting and discipline is that hard and tan. Ship me out to the foreign land. That's all I need except a plan. Where have I been? You had it back to tell you, brother, what have you seen? Don't think you'd want to know. Where does it hurt? The inside and the outside, brother, pains you the most. And we got nothing to show. Same old line time and again. Kings and me's and presidents tell us foes are now friends. No more lies, let us fight to win. Thank you, Doc, back from the dead. Bells on my chest, metal in my head. Red, white, and blue, I've always been. So I bit my tongue and never said, where have you been? You held it back and tell you, brother, what have you seen? Don't think you'd want to know. Where does it hurt? On the inside and the outside, bro, what pains you the most? So we got nothing to show. 7,000 miles, 7,000 beaches. Orders from afar, like they got something to teach you. They don't even know what they do not know. They don't know, they don't know. Yo, bad guys, 10 o'clock. Yeah, I see him. Light him up, G. Oh, you got him. All right, that's a day's work, bro. Let's head home. You know we're still fighting man, disciplined but on demand. Still out here in desert sand and still without a plan. Thank you, Doc, back from the dead. Bells on my chest and metal in my head. Red, white, and blue, I've always been. So I bit my tongue and never said, where have you been? And have it back, I'll tell you, brother, what have you seen? Don't think you'd want to know. Where does it hurt? On the inside and the outside, brother, what pains you the most? And we got nothing to show. What pains you the most? And we got nothing to show. What pains you the most? And we got nothing to show. What angers you the most? And we got nothing to show. Ain't one of hearts, ain't one of mine. Ain't one nothing for a blood and time. We have to fight, let us fight to win. Otherwise, don't stand sin. No more to say and no more to do. Except next time, better think it through. You 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 better think it through.
At least I know I got one guy to listen to all the way to the end. Nice job, Eric. I like it.